And welcome into the Home Counties, our latest webinar, coming to you from the Schools Show and Bonas MacFarlane. My name is William Petty. I'm a co-director at the Independent Schools Show and Bonas MacFarlane. Bonas MacFarlane is an expert consultancy specialising in school placement and university placement in Britain and America. All over the world, and the Independent Schools Show would usually be at this time of year just coming off the back of our 14th, I think, show in London in Battersea Park. Sadly, like so many things, COVID has stopped that being possible. So this is one of the ways which we're bringing you schools into your home, if you like, without you having to leave the lockdown, and to get some sense of the amazing array of boarding schools and all schools all around the country. Today, we're looking at the home counties, and we're joined by some magnificent schools, namely Heathfield in Ascot, Haileybury in Hertfordshire, Sevenoaks in Kent, Bradfield in Berkshire, Bedales down in Hampshire, Shiplake in Henley-on-Thames or nearby, and St George's, Ascot, as well as the Birkensted Schools Group in Hertfordshire. I'm very grateful to have all those wonderful speakers. Just quickly looking at mostly all heads, as far as I can see, all principals. So it's really exciting, bringing you exactly the kind of access to the senior leadership of these wonderful schools that you would get from our usual shows where we're allowed to conduct them. Rather more excitingly than you might find in our very lovely tent in Battersea Park, we're going live to each individual school. So the schools have been challenged with coming up with the most exciting and dynamic settings from which to broadcast their segments. We're going to hear from each school for a very brief period, giving them a little introduction into what makes them tick, giving you a sense of their character. And at the end, there'll be a very short Q&A. Depending on how it all goes with these live things, it can be a bit tricky. We might not have too much time, but please use the Q&A chat box on the bottom of Zoom to ask any questions that you may have. If we don't get to it live, we will get back to you personally, so don't worry. So without further ado, we're going to start in lovely Ascot. Once again, Bonas MacFarlane and the School Show. I'm not sure about Berkshire quite, or Ascot specifically, but the weather looks good where I am in London, and hopefully we'll have lots of sunny shots. We're going to join not one, but two headmistresses at Heathfield, namely Marina Gardner-Legg, who is the current headmistress, and Sarah Wilson, who is the new headmistress. And they are aptly so, because there's two of them. They're in the heads, plural, study. So we will join them straight away. Over to you, Marina and Sarah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Heathfield. My name is Sarah Wilson, and I'm delighted to welcome you this morning. With me this morning is Marina Gardner-Legg, current head. Marina, my daughter is about to start at Heathfield in September. She's joining in the sixth form. Why should she come to Heathfield? Because Heathfield is a completely different kind of school. Heathfield is about every single girl and giving every single girl a chance to play in a team, stand up on a stage, and to have her own time in the spotlight. This leads to an education which is absolutely transformatory, where your daughter feels empowered and strong, and where she develops the character at the heart of a Heathfield education. But we also never forget here that we are so lucky because we have food and we have water and clothes and warmth. And so we believe that an essential part of our mission is to go out and make the world a better place for everybody who is less fortunate than ourselves. Fostering ambition and helping the girls to understand the opportunities that are available to them is so important and so powerful, yet a very easy claim to make. Marina, how do we do that? Well, here, it really isn't about grades. Of course, they're important,
but it's about where those get you. So, for example, let me tell you about Aisha, captain of the lacrosse team who went to read Loughborough last year to read sport management. Lottie, who gained 3 A stars at A-level, who went to read international relations. We have 2 girls currently in the lower 6th. Minty, our head girl, who's going for economics at Cambridge, and Belle for fine art at Oxford, as well as Libby, who last year, at just the age of 17, went to study creative direction at Central St Martin's on a course populated by postgraduates. Now notice that when I talk about the girls here at Heathfield, we don't use numbers because that's not what we do. We talk about names because every girl is treated as an individual.
That individuality, that variety really comes through. Each young woman finding her own path. But I know it's not luck and it's not by accident. So how do we do it?
Well, first of all, the most important thing for your daughter is that it's not just about an education, it's also about their childhood. So our curriculum, particularly at the bottom end of the school, is deliberately broad. Of course we include cooking and textiles and music and art and drama. And every girl, because we are small, represents the school in a team, whether they've played the sport before or not. But don't think, though, don't make the mistake of thinking that we aren't competitive. Heathfield always punches above its weight. Last year, we came top of Division 1 in lacrosse, despite being the smallest school in the tournament. We have several girls in regional swimming squads and representation at all levels in sport. They all have the opportunity, every single girl, to dissect rats, engage in the maths challenge, write poetry and declaim it, get on stage, either solo or part of their house, and they all make really good friends for life. We also have great pastoral care, which is not just about structures, but about having kind, enthusiastic staff who are ambitious for your daughter and wants her to succeed.
That's really clear walking around the school. Every girl is known by every member of staff and her friends and her peer group. Last week, just walking across to the theatre, I passed the orchestra rehearsing for Remembrance Day. I passed drama going on at the bottom of the stairs, and I saw girls coming out from Touch Shop, giggling with their friends. It's that spirit and that joy that is just wonderful to see. I love that buzz and that spark. But what about when they leave school? What does the future hold for a Heathfield girl?
I genuinely have no idea what the future holds for a Heathfield girl. They could go on to do anything. But the most important thing for me is that whatever the future holds, we know that she will have the resilience, determination, and work ethic to tackle whatever she is given. She may have to face difficult decisions. She may be on her own at times or lead others. And as a result of the character education that she gets here, every Heathfield girl leaves with confidence and empathy. She knows who she is and understands where her strengths lie. But we also want her to be kind and to have good friends for life, because these are things which enrich all of our lives through our lives.
School is where every child has the opportunity to find their thing. And being willing for them to put themselves forward, step out of their comfort zones, is so, so important. It's such an important attitude to foster that it can't be left to chance. How do we foster that attitude?
Ensuring every girl feels valued and noticed and an important part of their school. Enables them to grow in confidence and self-belief, which in turn enables them to have a go and try new things in a really safe environment. Girls here discover they have talents where they had no idea they lay. And this have-a-go attitude is infectious. It filters down from everyone, which means that girls are not scared to fail. For some, the idea of failing at something will stop them from trying it at all. And Heathfield prides itself on creating a safe environment to try new things. And so girls learn where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are. A lesson for life. Being such a busy school, of course, day and boarding, we are 24/7, 7 days a week, It gives girls every opportunity to try new things, whether at the weekend or in the evenings. And as we are so close to London, we offer extended days, including breakfast, after school clubs, prep and supper to day girls, as well as our boarding community. When we walk down the corridor, we have no idea who's day and boarding. They just love being here.
That was one of the many things that drew me to Heathfield. It's not a hothouse, but a school where we really believe wholeheartedly in supporting every child and extending them as an individual. We want to find what excites and motivates your daughter, celebrate what she can do, support and challenge her to find and live what she believes. I am so looking forward to joining Heathfield in January as the new head. I would be delighted to welcome you to school for a visit. Thank you very much, Will.
Thank you very much, Marina and Sarah. And Sarah, the very best of luck with your opening year. Hopefully, it will be more normal than this current academic year, and less obsessive about the dreaded pandemic. A really great insight there for everybody watching into the very, very well known and historic Heathfield with two heads, and giving you a sense of not just what's happened recently, but what's coming up at the school, and the changes afoot with the new and very exciting appointment of Sarah Wilson. Without further ado, we will move on to the mighty Haileybury, and we're joined there by Stephen Campbell, Deputy Head Academic, and he is in the fascinatingly named The Grubber, which I believe is some form of school cafe and coffee shop, and I can see now he's joined by two students, one of whom is very well badged up there. I will over to you, Haileybury. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, William. It's really, really lovely to be able to welcome you all to Haileybury this morning. My name is Stephen Campbell, as William's just said. I'm the Deputy Head Academic here at Haileybury. It's very exciting to be able to speak to you about our wonderful school. So what kind of school is Haileybury? Well, we're a school that's committed to outstanding pastoral care, where every child is known. We're a school that offers excellent co-curricular opportunities to all of our girls and boys. But we are first and foremost an academic, intellectual community. We're a school that is deeply rooted in its past and its traditions, for sure. But we are also a progressive, innovative school that wants to play a leading role in shaping the future. We believe in pupil pathways and pupil choice. We offer a flexible curriculum where, for example, pupils can study either A-level or IB diploma in the sixth form, and where pupils can select distinct and distinctive learning pathways at 13+, for example. We want our girls and our boys to love learning, to love their subjects, and to feel a sense of ownership over their own progress. We want them to identify as linguists, as historians, as literature students, as mathematicians, and as engineers. Much of this might sound lofty, and it's very easy to throw buzzwords around. Therefore, what better way to show you what kind of school we are than by introducing you to two of our lovely pupils. Firstly, I will hand over to Honor, who is an IB pupil here at Haileybury, and she will speak about her experience. Honor.
Hi, I'm Honor. I'm an IB pupil in the lower sixth at Haileybury, and I really enjoy the IB because of how it is so well balanced across educational disciplines, and being able to choose different subjects effectively with the support of the school and finding my pathway has been really beneficial for me academically. And so far this year, even though the IB has a rigorous reputation of being hard work, I'm loving it. And so another part of the IB entails CAS, which stands for Creativity, Activity and Service. And recently, as part of my CAS, I completed a sound installation throughout the school in remembrance of the war. And I found this to be a greatly interactive experience inspired by the beautiful grounds which we have here, and it enabled us to still commemorate the lives lost whilst following COVID guidelines. So in essence, I'm so grateful to the opportunities given to me by the school, which have allowed me to do these things and develop academically.
Thank you very much, Honor. I think the example that Honor's just given there of her CAS project is a really good manifestation of our understanding of our history as a school but also the way that we are using technology to further that understanding and to offer pupils really innovative and exciting things to do whilst they learn with us. As has already been mentioned, we offer both the IB diploma and also the A-level pathway to our sixth form pupils. We're one of the very few number of schools that's able to do so with such strength. This flexibility and sense of pathway really characterises our curriculum throughout our school. Our commitment, though, to wider learning is such that we have entered into a partnership with Stanford University in the US and Oxford University here in the UK to become the first school in Europe to run a collaborative scientific inquiry. I shall let Rollo speak to you about this in more detail, partly because he's on the programme and partly because, as an English teacher, I fear that my biological understanding will let me down. So, Rollo.
Hi, I'm Rollo, and currently I'm doing the A-level, which, because of its uniqueness, offers an academic extension programme. Currently, I'm doing STANEX, which, as Mr. Campbell has already mentioned, is a collaboration with both Stanford and Oxford, which leads us into research for the cure for pancreatic cancer and diabetes by examining fruit flies. What STANEX offers to me is a way to extend myself beyond the curriculum and really separates me from my cohort as we are, as Haileybury, the first school in Europe to be offered this. It's an incredible experience because it helps build resilience, as there's a very likely chance that we fail initially in our crosses to achieve the gold fly. It helps build resilience, and obviously it's a great team working thing to build yourself up for a great application for university.
Thank you very much, Rollo. So STANEX is just one of many innovative different academic programmes that we run here that we really believe gives pupils a chance to meaningfully engage with research and with academic inquiry. In particular, our link with Oxford is very important, and furthermore, our link with Stanford is very important as well, because we have a growing number of pupils who seek to broaden their horizons through studying at university in the US or even beyond. We are very, very proud of our school. We're very proud of our curriculum, but mostly we're very proud of our pupils. And that's why it's been so lovely to be able to let them speak to you today to really show you what kind of school we are. Thank you very much, William.
Thank you very much indeed, Haileybury. Lovely to hear from our first students of the morning. I suspect there'll be more to come, which is great, and it is important, of course, when you're seeing these schools that, you know, when hopefully you do get to go and visit them again, that you make sure you're talking to the students, asking them about what their lives are like, not just taking the grown-ups' words for it, as it were. So we're keeping time for once, which is great, and I'm not going to ruin it. So we're going to go straight to Mr. Jesse Elsinger at the fabulous Sevenoaks School, who is located in the atrium in the science lab, it says on my sheet, but I suspect that's slightly inaccurate. Jesse, over to you.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will, and thank you very much to the Independent Schools Show for organizing this webinar today. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm here with Arabella Stewart, my fabulous Director of Admissions, and as she is so important to our admissions process, I'm going to let her say a few words of hello.
Hi, everyone. So nice to see you. Great to see you, Will. I'll be answering your questions during the presentation, and I'll also be here at the Q&A at the end. I just wanted to encourage you to get in touch with me via our website if you'd like to arrange a Zoom meeting with me or sign up for one of our virtual open mornings. But I'm now going to hand back to our wonderful new headmaster, Jesse, who is going to tell you a little bit about Sevenoaks School.
Hello, everyone. We are here broadcasting live from our Science and Technology Centre, our award-winning newly built building in 2018. It's very much the middle of the school day here, so as I'm talking, you will see students moving about behind me, but I hope that gives you a window into what life is like here at Sevenoaks. Sevenoaks is an extraordinary school. We benefit from fabulous facilities across a 110-acre campus. We're ideally situated in the market town of Sevenoaks, just 25 minutes from London Bridge by train, and our grounds are adjacent to Knoll Park, which is a 1,000-acre medieval deer park, similar to Richmond Park in London, but with no cars driving through it and fewer people. Now, Sevenoaks is a popular commuter town and a highly desirable place to live, surrounded by National Trust properties, vineyards, castles, and the rolling hills of the Kentish countryside. As a school, we're fully coeducational, and we have been for decades, welcoming students from the ages 11 to 18 and boarders from the ages of 13 to 18. Sevenoaks is known as one of the top schools in the country, and the Sunday Times named us as the School of the Year in 2018, the second time that we received that award in 10 years. We're known for our outstanding results at GCSE, and we are one of the top IB diploma schools in the world, which we teach here in the sixth form. And like many of the schools on this call and independent schools across the country, we have a wide range of co-curricular activities: sport, music, drama, Duke of Edinburgh scheme, CCF, and a wide range of clubs and societies. Our 500-seat auditorium is the center of our Performing Arts Centre, and our sports hall has a state-of-the-art 8-lane swimming pool, double sports hall, 3 indoor tennis courts, a climbing wall, and then, of course, extensive playing fields and astros. Now, there are many schools out there that have strong academic results in superb facilities, but Sevenoaks is really a unique place, and I want to just explain that in a little bit more detail. We have one of the oldest foundations in the country. We're approaching our 600th anniversary, yet over recent decades, we've gained a reputation as a pioneering, innovative, forward-looking school. For example, we were one of the first schools to go coeducational in the UK almost 50 years ago, and more than 40 years ago, we were one of the first schools in the UK to adopt the IB diploma program in the sixth form, which we now run exclusively. We do not offer A-levels at all. That's because the International Baccalaureate Diploma program is the best education in the world for sixth formers. It combines the breadth of 6 different academic subjects, as well as an independently researched extended essay, and a critical thinking course. It brings together aspects of creativity, of action, and service, and all students at Sevenoaks are involved in some service and partnership work in our local community. It's an important part of our education. In the end, we produce young adults who have a range of skills and aptitudes, who are ready for university and for any challenges they might encounter in the world of work. It's worth highlighting as well, we're one of the largest and most successful IB schools in the world. We have over 200 students in each year group in the sixth form, and our average point score in the IB is 40 out of 45, which is the equivalent of 5 A stars at A level. So it's a really exceptional average that our students achieve. Now, partly because we're a flagship IB school, we also have a diverse student body. 2/3 of our students are day students from the local area, yet we represent over 46 different nationalities amongst our student body. It's fair to say at Sevenoaks that it's the norm to speak another language, or to have lived in another country, or to have a passport other than a British one. And in that sense, we're reflective of the diversity of London, and we're proud of that global outlook. We promote intercultural understanding and breed a respect and tolerance for others. Now, there are many ways to measure a school's success, and one of the most powerful indicators is where your students go on to when they finish. And we proudly publish the university destinations of our leavers on our website, so you can look at the leavers destinations over recent years online. And given our global perspective, you're probably not surprised to learn that about 20% of our leavers went to overseas universities last year, many of them to top Ivy League universities or top universities in Canada or North America. And the majority of our students every year go to Oxbridge, London universities, or other top universities in the UK, like Bristol and Durham. Now, it's hard for me only to speak about Sevenoaks for 5 minutes because I'm so fond and proud of the school, and I'm conscious that you can't visit us now, but when the pandemic's over, I really hope that you'll come and see us. I would love to meet many of you, and I'd be most excited to meet your sons and daughters. Thank you very much.
Jesse, thank you very much. And there we had Jesse and Arabella. Arabella, I'm very sorry not to have introduced you, and that was Sevenoaks recording live from Broadcasting House, Sevenoaks School. Incredible setup there. Wonderful to see you all. And moving swiftly on now, not too far away, to Berkshire and Bradfield College, where we're joined by Dr. Chris Stevens, the headmaster, who also is in a science centre. Chris, over to you.
Thank you very much, Will. As you can probably see, our Science Centre is actually, on this occasion, the natural habitat of the Pang Valley. I'm outside one of our pavilions, taking the opportunity on a rather lovely autumn day to be outside for the first time in a while. If there's a gust of wind, I may be showered with leaves, but so be it. I'm actually delighted to be able to talk to everyone today, because the founder of the Independent School Show was a former pupil of mine, and finally this year invited me to talk at one of the lectures, and so said, you know, could that be perhaps encapsulated in 5 minutes rather than a general introduction to the school? So I hope that anybody wanting a general introduction to the school will find me Talking for Britain on our website, and indeed if they come on a Saturday morning. But I was going to just try to encapsulate what the sort of essence of our education is this morning. We talk about an education for life, and I was going to try and encapsulate that, talking about educating pupils in a really uncertain world, and never more so than now. It was not, of course, the prospect of a pandemic and the uncertainty that has brought which led Bradfield to the adoption of the principle of education for life some 5 years ago now. Rather, it was the realization that, along with the twin influences of globalization and technology, which have disrupted the world of work, developments in society mean that the attributes young people need to thrive as adults have changed. Education has always been about much more than just good exam grades. And good schools, and we've heard from lots of them this morning, have always developed more than good results. Good schools have always developed character. But was our education as good as it could be? Did it help pupils negotiate the pressures they face? Did our education adequately help the young people we educate develop the range of skills they need in the 21st century? So Education for Life, it emerged from a really careful survey. We looked at the relevant research, we did widespread consultation with pupils, parents, teachers and employers. And we tried to identify how to balance the development of character, the so-called soft skills that are needed, with the development of more narrowly cognitive processes tested in exam rooms. We identified attributes that would satisfy twin dimensions of an education for life. That's life's breadth and its length. In short, we wanted to do everything we could to help Bradfield alumni flourish, personally and professionally, over the long term. As we're about to move forward with our own strategy, we've therefore put it at the very middle of our future strategy. From a long list of worthy possibilities for Education for Life, we ended up selecting 6 key attributes. They are confidence, open-mindedness, resilience, inquiry, communication and innovation. Our curriculum and our co-curriculum offer many opportunities to develop all of those. Our staff try and explore each individual pupil's development of these attributes in their one-to-one tutorials. We nurture the attributes intentionally, and we make sure that teachers comment on them whenever possible, not just the keywords, but the associated skills as well in their reports. And as I've already said, the Education for Life principles are at the heart of the new strategy we're developing for the next phase of Bradfield's development. So, in short, we are clear that recent events have made it clearer than ever, in fact, that flexibility and emotional balance are needed to survive and to flourish in today's world. We're trying to develop those in our pupils. We're trying to develop their resilience by stretching them, not stressing them. And we want them first and foremost, of course, to enjoy school, and they will when the sun comes out like that. We live in an age when the cult of personality threatens on occasion to undermine the culture of character, such that perhaps how we're seen can start to matter more than who we are. We, therefore, at Bradfield, we encourage engagement with activities of lasting value to help build people's confidence, to help them develop the open-mindedness so that they can value difference and appreciate other people for themselves. So in an age when fake news, alternative facts, who on earth invented that term, as those devalue the currency of knowledge, we promote inquiry, we promote critical thinking. As the written word falls increasingly behind perhaps the spoken word, both in our work and in our leisure activities, we encourage our pupils to master all kinds of communication. As technological advances change the way we live and we work, we are making sure that our pupils are innovative, and we're fostering innovation through creativity and through entrepreneurship, and we're championing digital fluency. Finally, and this is crucial, we believe that the privilege of a great education carries with it the responsibility to make a positive contribution to society and to leave the planet in a better place. In the words of a recent leaver, which made me very proud when he came up with them, and apologies if you can hear that tractor coming past, Bradfield enables its pupils to make a difference, not just to make a living. That is my hope for all of our pupils. As you can see, Bradfield is in a beautiful setting. It's a really friendly school. It's populated by remarkable young people and by teachers who are passionate about education, but none of us take ourselves too seriously. Our pupils, they're characterised by their integrity, not any sense of entitlement. And the whole community embraces that integrity along with our other two key values of enthusiasm and empathy. I really hope you get the opportunity to come and see us for yourselves, and you enjoy looking on the website for the other facts and figures in the meantime. Thank you very much. I just may have stuck to under 5 minutes. Thank you, Will.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, you did excellently well on your timing there and tackling the external factors. You have slightly different problems with planes and tractors than I do here in East London with dustbin men screaming and shouting in the background, but hopefully they won't be heard on your end. We will now move swiftly on to Bedales in Petersfield, Hampshire, where we're joined by Headmaster Magnus Basharat, and he will be, it says here, although I'm starting to doubt this, in the Art and Design building. Magnus, over to you.
Hi, Will. I hope you can see the Art and Design building in the background here with fully functioning artists being artists. So yeah, hi, Will. Thank you for having me along. My name is Magnus Basharat. I'm head here at Bedales School. So we're a co-ed boarding and day school with its own pre-prep and prep school in a village just outside Petersfield. So it's south of London, down the A3, an hour by car and train, 20 minutes from the coast. And we've got a 120-acre site with our own farm, surrounded by the neighbouring South Downs National Park. So extremely lucky in terms of location, especially now with so many restrictions on London life. It's good to get out of London and breathe the air of Hampshire. So I wanted to just spend a little bit of time talking about the Bedales difference and how we see ourselves as very different in terms of the world of education. We're well known as a school with an impressive creative arts tradition. Many of our students study art and design, textiles, drama and music, but we're equally strong academically across the board, and certainly maths and sciences hold their own in terms of results and university subject choices. In terms of innovation and difference, at Bedales, relationships are really, really key. So we're slightly less than 500 students, and I think that's a really good number because everyone knows everyone else. Everyone can feel valued. Students make friendships across the year groups and have strong, supportive relationships with teachers. No one feels a need, I don't think, to fit in, but they're allowed to be themselves. We have no uniform, and everyone is known by their first names, including me. And rather like real life, perhaps. Ours is a very non-hierarchical school, so there are normal rules you'd expect at any school, but students behave because I hope they feel listened to and part of a community. We talk about co-curating the educational experience. It's not simply teachers telling students what to do, but there's a dialogue so we can navigate our way together through the challenges of school life. Our students are really encouraged to be independent thinkers, so everyone's views are respected and listened to. Indeed, they're expected to have views on a whole range of issues and should be able to discuss those with adults. Our school council is the oldest in the country and meets for an hour every week, where the head students manage discussion about life at school, and we talk about what we can do to improve things, if there's anything that we need to change. So everyone is really respected as an individual, and as a result, we try and create a happy and engaged atmosphere. And as parents know, students who are happy and well motivated will make the most of the opportunities available to them and should feel confident about taking a full part in school life. So we're proud of our reputation as a progressive, innovative school. One newspaper said recently that it was in our DNA. 12 years ago, we introduced our alternatives to GCSEs, the Bedales assessed courses. We felt GCSEs were too narrow. They didn't really stretch more able students and were more a test of memory than about real learning or establishing a love of learning. And we also were very dubious about the terminal assessment, only having a high stakes, cliff edge terminal exam as a way of measuring progress and achievement. All our students currently still take 5 core GCSEs in maths, English, science, and a language, but then are free to choose from a whole range of other BACs, Bedales assessed courses, in parallel to GCSEs. Subjects such as global awareness, history, English literature, philosophy, art, textiles, where our teachers are able to shape the course around a year group's particular interest and their own speciality and interest. So we shape the curriculum so there is more teamwork and project work, things that employers tell us are really important in the workplace. And students present work to their classes, honing those really important presentation skills that they will need later on in life. And the course is based around continuous assessment. So no one can spend the year resting on their laurels and then just cram for an end of year exam. Another innovation we're really proud of is our later start to the teaching day. So science and research tells us that teenagers' sleep patterns vary enormously from those of adults, and that by waking them in time for that traditional 8:30 academic start, we're disrupting the deepest period of sleep, the time where memories are stored. So this year we've rearranged the day so students benefit from longer in bed, more restorative sleep, and the whole day has shifted later, and lessons start now at 9:45. So we were established in 1893 as a new school in reaction to the Victorian model of public school education, all about formal religion and industrial sport and the CCF. So we do things refreshingly differently. So please do get in touch and come down and visit us and see an education that is really different and innovative and not the mainstream. Thanks very much, Will. See you again.
Magnus, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And 5 schools in, and we're already getting a sense of just how diverse and different all of our fabulous schools are, not only in our home counties, but across Britain. And some really key differences being highlighted by them all already. So we're ticking along nicely. I just want to say, I keep forgetting to mention this, the questions, there are questions being answered on the chat room by individual schools as we go along. Please throw them up there. I think you can select which school you would like to send the message to, and they will get back to you live. So please do use that facility. Again, we will have a live Q&A shortly. And so moving on to school number, 7, I think, 6 rather. Shiplake, the lovely Shiplake in Henley-on-Thames, once home to my brother, but do not hold that against them. It's a fabulous school. And we're joined by Headmaster Tyrone Howe, and he is hopefully in the Davies Centre overlooking the river. Tyrone, over to you.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to Shiplake College. My name is Tyrone Howe and I'm in my 2nd year as headmaster of the college. Shiplake is situated on the banks of the Thames, a few miles downriver from Henley in Oxfordshire, and we have just under 500 pupils starting from year 7 and going to year 13. So boys from age 11 to 18, but it's important to note that we're co-educational in the 6th form because we're joined by around 60 girls across year 12 and year 13. We are a selective school, but we're not narrowly academically selective. In terms of our academia, we're a broad academic church, and in our assessments, we really want to get to know what the pupil is all about. And we hope that they will make the most of their opportunities that are on offer here. This is a school which I would describe as a personal best school. I think we're really focused on pupils achieving their own personal bests. In any arena of high performance, you hear the word process mentioned time and time again. The world of education is no different. So if we and the pupils can get that process right, then I think that we stand a very good chance of the pupils achieving those personal bests. But getting the process right, what does that actually mean? Well, I think that means getting the little things right, doing the little things well. And that means that we've got to be rigorous in every single thing that we do. If we are rigorous in the little things, I think the big things, many of which will just look after themselves. And again, with pupils and teachers, I emphasize that we employ rigor in everything that we do. There is pressure here, but the pressure is that pupils turn up to school with a positive attitude, that they care about their work, and they commit to everything that they do. What attracted me to Shiplake College as headmaster is its ethos. The very best organisations, I believe, have at their heart a shared sense of values, which give them a sense of direction, cohesion, and also a sense of mission. At Shiplake, we call our core values the 3 I's: inclusive, individual, and inspirational. But I would like you to hear a little bit more about these values from some of my pupils. So first of all, over to Monty.
Thank you, Headmaster, and good morning. I am going to be speaking to you from our climbing wall and want to introduce you to the first of Shiplake's core values, which is inclusive. Our school has less than 500 pupils, and we are a very close community. Everyone has value, and everyone has a voice. Above all, we are encouraged to be kind to each other, and we're encouraged to get involved in all aspects of school life. This building is new and has this climbing wall which we all get to use. It is also the centre of the Duke of Edinburgh, CCF, a shooting and archery range, and of course, the new boathouse. Over to Abby to tell you about our second core value.
The second core value is individual. Here at Shiplake, we recognise that everyone is different and we want to get the best out of every single person. Our main goal is to reach everybody's full potential, both in the classroom and in whatever aspect of school life that inspires us, whether this be sport, art, music or drama. Whilst boys only from years 7 to 11, Shiplake is a co-ed school with almost 60 girls in our sixth form. Everyone is encouraged to be themselves and find something they really care about and get completely stuck into it. Finally, over to Billy.
Thanks, Abby. Good morning, everyone. I'm Billy, and I'm going to be talking about the third of our core values, which is inspirational. Now, for me, one of the best things about being a pupil here at Shiplake is the sense of team. And I'd say that there's nowhere in the college where this is more true than in the boat club. When we come down to train early every Saturday morning, or for that matter, any of the other countless sessions during the week, there is one factor that unites us all, and that's the opportunity to compete at the highest level. What I find particularly inspiring is the efforts of my teammates when they are raising the bar in each and every training session. This is what will lead us to success when we are allowed to compete again. Finally, before we finish, over to our headmaster, Mr. Howe.
What is striking about Shiplake College is that I think we are authentic. I think we live our values. I ask every pupil and teacher to bring their own little bit of magic with them to school. And wherever possible, I like to get the pupils involved, a bit like today. Above all, we stress to them that they have to bring kindness with them to school. The most powerful thing they can be is to be kind to each other. Shiplake College is a kind school because it's important that pupils understand their place in the wider community and society in which they live. I'm wearing this t-shirt. We're currently running a charity initiative called Rovember, where every pupil and every staff member rows 250 metres and donates £2.50. We've teamed up with the teenage mental health charity, the Charlie Waller Trust, and it's a way to keep smiles on faces, and in these strange times, it connects our community. So I believe in leading by example. So if you will excuse me, I'm about to start my 250 metres, but please come and visit us and experience the magic for yourselves.
Tyrone and students, thank you from Shiplake there, looking looking incredibly active and showing off some impressive costume changes from the headmaster there. So now on to the all-girls school in Ascot, St George's, and we're joined there by Liz Hewer, headmistress, by the fireplace in reception, I hope. Over to you, Liz. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Will, and it's lovely to meet with parents virtually this morning. And a very warm welcome. We are in our front hall where we have our famous fireplace at St George's. It's a lovely sunny day here in Ascot, and I'm delighted to be here with you. And I've got two of my upper sixth prefects who are going to talk a little bit about some of the things that they enjoy doing at St George's. You have, of course, a wide range of fantastic schools here today, and the fantastic thing about the independent sector is, of course, that there is choice. And we do hope that once we are in a little bit of a more normal environment, that you will be able to come and visit the schools. There's nothing quite like getting that sense of a school from actually being here, and really importantly meeting the pupils as well. Hence having a little bit of a taster of that from some of our girls today. So we're a relatively small school. We're about 270 girls. We're in Ascot, so very well located near to London, but we have 30 acres of beautiful countryside here. And we are a mixture of boarding and day. About 40% of our girls are boarders, about 60% of our girls are day. All our girls have a very long day. The day parents get a lot of the advantages of a boarding environment with clubs and preps and an extended day. And all of that based at school, lots of opportunity. And indeed, many of the girls who might start with us as day girls opt to board as they go through the school. We are very proud to be an inclusive and diverse community. We have about 20% of our pupils from international families across the world, and indeed some who live locally as well. And we very much encourage the girls to look up and out, not just down and in, both within our local community, nationally and internationally. And that strong sense of community at St George's, which is part of being the size that we are, has really come into its own at current times in the last 8 months as we've been managing these strange times with the pandemic. The size of the school really come into its own in terms of that community. There are three things that we talk about when we talk about St George's girls. We want them to become confident. So confident in who they are, confident in their own identity, confidence in their own sense of self. And we do that by encouraging them in a range of different areas, in every way where their interests and passions lie. And that links in with our second thing, which is that we want them to be capable. And that might be capable. We have some super clever girls. We've got girls doing Oxford applications. At the moment, we've got medics. We've got some girls who really don't enjoy the academics as much as other things. They might have a passion for drama, the performing arts, love their cookery, wherever their interests and passions lie, we encourage them. And the third thing is that they are connected. Connected, as I said, to oneself, that sense of self, not just being stuck in perhaps the shallow echo chambers of social media that can be a temptation, but connected to the wider world beyond, locally working with primary schools nationally and beyond as well. And one of the things that we really talk about a lot at St George's is our co-curricular activities, our broad programme that we have. And I've got two girls here. I've got, first of all, Alex, who is going to talk a little bit about some of those, her role as sports prefect. Alex, if you want to just say what you're hoping to go to do next year.
So I'm hoping to do business with decision analytics at Edinburgh.
And Alex is our sports prefect, as I said. Do you want to mention some of the opportunities we have for sport at St George's?
Yeah, so St George's actually offers a range of different sports, from netball and lacrosse to handball and volleyball. But there's also a brand new swimming pool, which is absolutely fabulous. And there's a new swim squad and a really good environment to be in. The teachers also encourage participation and performance, which really encourages all the girls to get involved and partake in sport.
Thank you very much. And Alex's role particularly does have a lot of involvement. St George's is quite unusual that we mix very much between the year groups, strong sense of community and that. So perhaps talk about a little bit about that.
So this year we actually introduced a new sports council, which allows girls who are passionate about sports to voice their opinions about sporting matters, whether this is about new sports club ideas or anything involved. And last year we actually had sports leaders, which is a low sixth role, and you can get involved from girls in first and fifth year, and you go over their lessons or their clubs.
Brilliant, thank you. And Grace, do you want to just introduce yourself, your very different passion for university, hopefully?
Yeah, so I'm Grace, and I'm hoping to do Arabic and Islamics at university at Oxford, and waiting to hear back for it.
And you've been involved in your long time at St George's with lots of different clubs and opportunities. Do you want to perhaps talk about performance opportunities that we've got here?
Yes, well, there's Open Mic Night, which I think is one of the big favourites here, and it's everybody has the opportunity to perform in front of parents and in front of everybody in the school, whether you're especially advanced or if you've never, sung or danced in your life. So we get like a very big variety of people who choreograph their own stuff, or kind of go in groups. And yeah, it's always a really good laugh. Happens once a term, and now it's online as well, so you can see it on YouTube. Yeah.
And lots of drama, dance, music.
Yeah, so we have pantomime, festival pantomime, which happens every year. That's also online, and we have our
got our musical and dance show.
Yeah, we have our school musical and our jazz dance show as well.
And after school every day, the girls, as part of their extended day, do clubs. So perhaps we'll just finish with a bit of a few examples of some of the things you've been involved in over the years.
So there's MUN, which is also really popular. I think, was it last year that we actually ran doing a small trip to Spain, the MUN conference?
Yeah, to Bilbao.
Yeah, that was that was really good fun. And we also have debate teams. We hosted some competitions last year, and also we do.
Yeah, so we've got lots of things. You did the mock bar trial, I think, last year as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, as well as sort of science clubs and various different things as well. So hopefully that's given you a little taste of all the things that we do beyond obviously the normal lessons, sports, music, drama, all the things that these fantastic schools have. And we hope that you'll be able to come and visit us if that interests you before long. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you, ladies. And for the uninitiated, the MUN mentioned there by the wonderful student there is the uninitiated. It's the Model United Nations, one of the fabulous schemes that you find in some of our schools across the country and around the world indeed. So now on to our last schools, actually, and I say plural because it's the Berkhamsted Schools group in Hertfordshire, made up of a few schools, and they're going to introduce us to those. And to do that, we are joined live by Richard Backhouse, and I think some very high-tech green screening that will hopefully give us a tour, forgive the truck in the background, of all of his schools. So without further ado, Richard, over to you.
Thank you, Will. Good morning to you and to those watching online. And if you're watching later in the day or on another occasion, good morning, afternoon or evening, whichever is appropriate to you. My name's Richard Backhouse, and I'm principal of the Berkhamsted group of schools. Now, it's often said that parents face 6 key decisions when they choose a school. And I want to suggest to you this morning that that's not quite the case, and that it's possible to have your cake and eat it, or as the French say, I believe, to have your cake and your money. First of all, parents are encouraged to think that they need to choose a school which is either single sex or co-ed. And in fact, it's possible to have both. Berkensted, like a growing number of schools in England, is a diamond school. And that means that we are co-ed up to the age of 11, although we also have the option of a girls-only prep school. But between 11 and 16, our pupils are separated onto different sites by gender for all their lessons. They still do extracurricular activities together, drama and music. They still go on school trips together. They come to school and leave the school on coaches together. But their lessons are separate, boys and girls. We're able to get all the benefits of being single sex and all the benefits of being co-ed. It's often said too that parents should choose a big school or a small school. And that too is something that we can give parents the best of both worlds. We're a group of 6 schools with just over 2,000 students, but our largest school is only 500 pupils. So it's possible and indeed required that the head of each of the schools knows all the pupils individually, so that we can give individual care and individual development to every child, but we can give every child access to the resources of a school of more than 2,000 students, the best of both worlds. And we're a school which has boarding and day. We have only a few boarders, some from overseas, some from the UK. But it's often the case that parents enjoy the fact that we can flex our support for them to include an early breakfast or staying until supper, or including supper or prep, or late into the evening, or when a parent is marooned in a business meeting in another country, or has been before we were all locked down. Possible for us to keep a pupil overnight unexpectedly, because we have provision for all of that, and we want to support parents and their working lives. And then fourthly, it's often said that parents need to choose between a school that's in a town and that's in the country. Well, we're in an idyllic market town with a market day on Wednesday and Saturday and a farmer's market once a month on a Sunday, and yet only half an hour from Euston by train. Less than half an hour when the traffic is good from Luton Airport and Heathrow Airport. So all the benefits of being in the city and all the benefits of being in the country. And we're also an old school founded, in fact, by Henry VIII. Thomas Cromwell, just before he was sent to the Tower, put the deed in front of Henry VIII, who founded our school in 1541. So we're an old school with heritage. Our old hall was founded to be the largest school hall in England when it was built. That was the instruction to the builders. But we're a modern, forward-looking school. We issue every pupil with a Microsoft Surface Go or Pro from the age of 9 to 18. And a lot of our curriculum is online, which has been fantastic in recent months to be able to support our students as well online as we do when they're present in the school. And then it's often said that parents need to choose a school which is either all-round or very ambitious. And again, we can offer parents the best of both worlds. I think it's hard to tell when your child is young and you're choosing a school, what kind of young person, what kind of adult they're going to grow up to be. And as we see those children grow up to become multicolour, three-dimensional versions of themselves, so they grow into their adult self, we offer the opportunity for them to become hugely ambitious academically. We have debating and extension societies where the pupils give lectures and ask questions. We have strong Oxbridge entry programs. But pupils may also choose they really want to throw their energy into the performing arts. And our drama department was ranked, was shortlisted for National Drama Department of the Year last year. Or they may throw more energy into sport. We were ranked 3rd in the country for sport. We're the largest Duke of Edinburgh cohort. We offer all these things, so all round and ambitious. I'd strongly encourage you to come and visit us because we can offer you really the best of both worlds. We offer a values-based achievement culture in an idyllic market town 30 minutes from central London. We've been developing remarkable people here since 1541, and we're continuing to do that. Come and visit us. Maybe your children will be the remarkable people we develop in the next decade. The best of both worlds.
Richard, thank you very much, and enjoyed the video walkthrough of the various buildings and schools there. That was fabulous. Thank you very much to all of the schools. Amazingly, we have some time left, not very much, for 1 or 2 questions. Forgive me, schools, there's lots of you and there's not going to be a question for everybody. But if I just deal with the first one in from one of our viewers, Pamela asks, what strategies do the schools have to encourage families from Africa, I think I'll add from overseas, just to make it more broadly appealing to everybody from overseas, to consider studying in UK boarding schools? And once here, how do you help them integrate into the culture and ensure they excel in their UK education experience? And I'm just going to go on what I can see. So I can see Tyrone at Shiplake there. Tyrone, perhaps you would be kind enough to answer that question for us.
Yeah, well, we have actually a relatively small number of overseas pupils at the school, but I think it's probably because of that it's a slightly gentler boarding experience. Things are a bit more relaxed for the weekends, and we do have very quite long days here, so there's real integration between the day pupils and the boarders. We run the school right through to 6:15. They have their academic lessons, activities, sport, and prep time here at the school before the day pupils hop on their buses at 6:15 after supper. So I think being a smaller school, just under 500, there's probably more there's more opportunity for them to feel part of the wider school community. And we, like any of the boarding schools, we have a very active boarding program as well in terms of activities both in the evenings and the weekends.
Great, thank you, Tyrone. And actually, just to get a bit of juxtaposition for a slightly more internationally focus school in numbers anyway. So Arabella at Sevenoaks, perhaps you could just give us a little insight into how your overseas students are integrated and settled in at Sevenoaks.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing to say is that we are, as Will has mentioned, a very international-minded, diverse student population. So we've got students from about 46 different nationalities right now, and we actively recruit from across the world. And within the last couple of years, we have visited Nigeria and Kenya, for example. So we're really wanting to have students from everywhere. And we feel, first of all, that means that you'll have lots of international boarders staying in every weekend because their parents are living abroad. But secondly, having lots of different people from lots of different nationalities means that difference is sort of just very much accepted as part of normal life, and everybody integrates beautifully together. We're a non-denominational school where our ethos is very much of respect and tolerance for all positions. So I think it's a school that's a very comfortable place for international students to join.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arabella. Just before I go on to the next question, I just want to remind everybody that we will be back in this series on Tuesday, the 24th of November, again at 10:30, and that will be the Into the Girls' Day School Trust. So the Girls' Day School Trust is a large charitable foundation that owns lots and lots. I think they're the largest owner of all girls' schools in the UK around the country. So wherever you are, and as long as you've got daughters, it'll be a really, really interesting insight into that collection of fabulous educational establishments. Without further ado, and this will probably be the second last question, please do keep your questions coming. Do check our website, schoolsshow.co.uk. You'll find this recording and all of our previous webinars there, as well as links to all of our lovely schools in this and all of our other webinars and all of our exhibitors in general. So lots of information there. Do reach out to schools, do get in contact. As you're hearing, even though these are great sort of events, do make sure that you get in touch with schools, ask questions directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's what they're all about. So please make use of all the information we have for you online. So now probably a question that's becoming more and more relevant in the British system. This route, namely US university, has become extremely popular amongst British students, more so than ever. And perhaps I could ask the question first to Bradfield, and that is, I want to go to US university. How would you help me achieve that as a sixth former?
Well, we've got a number of pupils who ask us that question every year. Actually, I start by saying, don't just say US, look at North America. There's some great universities, obviously, in Canada and McGill and places like that, or indeed look worldwide. Once people have had that look, the specific help for them is from a team who are used to dealing with those and helping them on that journey. There are sessions every week which we offer through the autumn to prepare people for the SATs or the ACTs and make sure that they know intricately the different modalities, because obviously some is the common application, some of it's individual, so it's bespoke help. We usually have about 30 pupils out of 150 who express an interest in international applications. That then distills down to about 20 who make them, and usually somewhere between 10 and 15 go, but it is worldwide. So we start by saying, don't just say US, look worldwide. And having done that, we help each individually because they are very particular journeys. We have people also who come in, specialists from America, and run fairs and look at scholarship programs. Every year we have one or two sports scholars who go to the States, but we make sure that they also look at other possibilities.
Great, thank you very much, Chris. And I am going to call a stop to things there. And it only remains for me to thank all of these fabulous schools for joining us on, again, a sunny day. We have an incredible luck with weather at the schools show. And all of our webinar series so far have been done in amazing November weather or October. Again, do join us on the 24th for our next webinar, Into the Girls' Day School Trust. Do check our website, schoolsshow.co.uk, to register for future events, download previous events, and find out all the information you could possibly need about these wonderful schools and many others besides. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you again to all of the heads and teachers and students of our schools today, and I look forward to seeing you all again extremely soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, Will. Cheerio.